What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Salt and Pauper Saturday video. Today we are going to take a look, as promised, at a food brew. We are going to be eating all the food. If you are tired of dying to burn, this is the deck for you. Alrighty, guys, today's brew is going to be featuring everyone's favorite cat, Cauldron Familiar. We are going to eat all the food. This is an all-you-can-eat buffet of a black-green rock deck. We are running a host of Haunted Mires as our dual land with a set of generous Ents to fetch them up. But we also have this land from original Eldraine called Gingerbread Cabin. And this is a typed forest. When it enters the battlefield, if you have 3 or more other forests, it enters play untapped and you get a food. So when we combine that with Wood Elves, which can search for any forest card, we have a ramp engine as well as a food engine, which is pretty cute. Additionally, we're running Carrion Feeder as our primary sacrifice engine, Unearth as a value recursion engine. We've got Deadly Disputes for draw, a set of Lembas, thank you to Lord of the Rings, and a single golden egg to fill an empty slot. We do want an extra food that also cantrips, although this could definitely be a Reckoner's Bargain, and maybe that's a better choice here. We shall see. Next up, we have a pair of Sweet Tooth Witch. This is a new card from Wilds of Eldraine that is really exciting. It gives us access to an ETB food token as well as a sacrifice of food to nuke target player for 2 life. So for 2 mana and a food, we can shock a player repetitively. Now this is slightly better than the previously printed Tempting Witch because it doesn't have to tap to activate. So in those late game scenarios, once we've drawn a bunch of lands and we have a whole bunch of extra foods on the board, we can use them to drain out our opponent for lethal. Brandywine Farmer from Lord of the Rings is our main food source. This is a 1/1 for 3 that on the surface does not seem very good, but when it enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, you get a food token. Now, when you combine that with Unearth, that generates a lot of food and a lot of value. We also have Hollow Scavenger, another new card from Wilds of Eldraine. This card has proven to be pretty threatening. You might look at it and say it's a 3/2 for 2, but this is a 3/2 for 2 that also comes with the ability to create its own food and a threat of activation ability that is actually pretty scary. You can sacrifice a food for 1 mana to give this card +2/+2. Now, you can only activate it once per turn, but in general, a lot of the threats on this in this metagame right now die to a 5-power creature. Cryptic Serpent, Gurmag Angler, Tolarian Terror all trade with this card if you eat a food token, which is really, really exciting. Additionally, sacrificing the food does take this out of Lightning Bolt range, which is super relevant against all those red decks. Now, as for removal, we do have a couple of snuff outs in this list. I tested both Chainer's Edicts and Cast Downs as well. Snuff out with the life gain of the overabundance of foods really didn't seem like it had much of a downside. And with all these dual lands and generous Ents to fetch them, you're definitely going to have a swamp in play. So there's not much of a downside. And the Chainer's Edicts just got moved to the sideboard. To round it out, we have a playset of Mirkwood Bats. This is the card I was most excited about to brew with from Lord of the Rings. This is a 2/3 flyer, and whenever you create or sacrifice any token, that includes the treasure from Deadly Disputes, you have each opponent lose 1 life. And that can really start to stack up with Cauldron Familiar when you're sacking foods to bring the Cauldron Familiar back, to sack the Cauldron Familiar to Carrion Feeder, and so on and so forth. And then the playset of Generous Ents rounds out the deck. Now, this serves as good top end. There definitely have been games with this deck where I just run out the Generous Ent as a creature that makes a food, and there's nothing wrong with that. But usually, we're going to be fetching up our dual land or our gingerbread cabins with this card in the mid game. Out of the sideboard, we have a set of Sandstorms. This is coming in against red, elves, a few other decks like fairies. Really puts a lot of pressure on a lot of the aggressive decks that are going to try to get in and go very wide before this deck has a chance to set up. So a full 4 of set of Sandstorms We have a full Fort D Glamour. This is for, everybody's familiar with the deck by now, but this is mainly for Grixis and blue-white affinity. Really just need a way to interact with all that glitters, and this is a good option. Chainer's Edict comes in for the Serpent list, and Fairy Macabres are there for pretty much any combo that runs out of the graveyard. Just a solid sideboard and a really interesting main board. So let's jump in to match number 1 and show you just what this deck can do. All right, match number 1 against Pedro Gibson. We are on the play with the black-green food deck. And before we decide if we're going to be mulliganing... Well, he was too scared of the food. But for that quick win... Go ahead and make sure you hit that like button on this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more Pauper brews. I have a really spicy one in the wings coming next week, unless something else hits my radar, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're interested in more meta decks instead of homebrews, take a look at a couple videos over the last couple of weeks. We have featured pretty much all of the good decks lately. All right, not sure if you can call that last one a match, but we're going into match number 2 with the black-green food deck against Pinfire. We won the roll again, so we are going to take the play. And this is a keep. We do have the Generous Cycle for the dual land, and it feels like this is a pretty standard keep here, so we're just going to play our swamp and pass. Some merit to running out Cauldron Familiar Carrion Feeder into it, but I like being able to Deadly Dispute next if we need to, just to ensure we're hitting our land drops. So let's go ahead and run that out and just pass, and then we will yield through the next end step here and cycle at end of turn. All right. Let's get our dual land. All right. We draw a Mirkwood Bats, which isn't bad. We're going to run out a Cauldron Familiar here. Just because it feels like the... Once again, interesting immediate scoop. Have no idea what the opponent is playing. We've just seen a swamp. Very strange scoop from the opponent. Must not be prepared for food, which is interesting. They've got to be bringing in Graveyard Hate here, so I'm pretty sure... Oh, nope, they just scoop it up. All right, well... All right, we in match number 3 against QQ. We are on the play again. Let's see if we can actually get a match with the deck. I think the last opponent was on Black Burn, which is why they scooped the match immediately to a Cauldron Familiar. This is once again a keep. Not super happy with the way this has to run out, but we'll see how it goes. We are just going to run out the forest into the Cycle Generous End again. And then we'll go ahead and yield to the end step. Okay, opponent on Black Gardens. This should be an interesting matchup here. Let's get our dual land. Tap. Let's play Haunted Mire. We're going to have to pass again, which is a little bit slower than I like. Don't have a Cauldron Familiar on that turn. That's the difference between an opening swamp and an opening forest. Ooh, opponent not on Gardens. Looks like they're on some sort of a red-green beats list, maybe? Super interesting. All right. Yep, okay. Okay, we draw a land there. That's good. Let's go ahead and run out this Golden Egg. Draw Snuff out. That's very good. Let's run a Carrion Feeder out. Hopefully we can get this Mirkwood Bats in play and it lives. That would be ideal, but against a red deck, not sure that's going to happen. Bequeathal. When this creature dies, draw 2 cards. Ooh, that seems like a really good time to just cast this, I'm not going to lie. And stop this Bequeathal, because That's a lot of card advantage. Opponent just going to hit us for 2. That's fine. We're going to gain quite a bit of life throughout this game, so should be okay. And let's go to our turn. We have an Unearth. Let's Deadly Dispute. We really need to hit our land drop here. Normally, I would have not Deadly Disputed the creature, but the Golden Egg allows us to filter color here, so the original plan was just to unearth it again. Is that still the plan? I think that is still the plan, although we can Deadly again. Do we want to just Deadly again? Let's Deadly again. Not super happy with that run out, but we do definitely... Okay, good. We really just needed to hit land drops there, so that was a great run out. We're going to pass here. Yield through the next end step. We have no blockers, so opponent is going to get their Wildfire Elemental. What in the world am I playing against? This feels like it should be a good matchup for us, but we really need a Cauldron Familiar to hit play soon. Let's see. Let's play out the Smirkwood Bats. Let's play a land. Let's unearth a Carrion Feeder. And let's pass. Now we can't pass through priority here just because we need to be able to sack to the Carrion Feeder if they have a removal spell. And it just plays another Wildfire Elemental. Wow. Interesting. Okay, this is going to get really hairy if we can't do anything about it, but opponent can't really attack here either. Sure, we'll go to 9. Yeah. Okay, another Snuff out there is very good. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Play another Mirkwood Bats. Play a Wood Elves. Get another Gingerbread Hut. Gingerbread Cabin. Now, can we afford to attack here? I feel like we can. Opponent on 4 cards. Really interesting list. I'm not sure what opponent is doing. Wildfire Elemental is a card I play in my cube, and it can be an incredible finisher, but there's no shot a 4-mana 3/3 vanilla effectively is the right play right now. Raid Bombardment. Okay, so opponent is just playing like red-green token beats, which is super interesting. Okay. I still think we're okay here. And next turn, we're going to be in a really good spot. Okay, opponent just going to attack here, I think. Sure. Gonna trigger Raid Bombardment twice. Everybody gets like +4/+4 or some craziness. Yep, okay. Opponent may have a Lightning Bolt here, which could be very dicey. Let's go ahead and... Oh. If opponent has a Lightning Bolt and the Snuff Out's uncastable, which is really not good. Oh, a dead. He's attacking, or he's hitting the creature that couldn't block. That's okay. Let's pay 4 life and kill one of these. I think that's just lethal though, right? And then we have to sacrifice what? One of this guy. Nope, it's just lethal. Okay, let's concede. Should have done that, I suppose, before the attack phase. Interesting. Okay. These sandstorms feel like they're going to be pretty good in this matchup, so let's take out a couple of these snuff outs. And bring in some sandstorms, and we're going to cut 1 unearth. If I snuff out before he attacks, probably just changes his dead trigger. He doesn't have to kill the carrion feeder. I can't block with it anyway. I think I'm dead there regardless. Very interesting, though. All right, going into the playing game 2. Let's focus up a little bit. All right, Sandstorm should be very, very good in this matchup. We've got 3 lands, Mirkwood Bats, and an Ent. Let's go ahead and keep this. We're just going to play out our Swamp and pass. I think we want to cycle it just to get a land out of our deck. So we're probably going to do that. Let's get a Haunted Mire out of our deck. Let's play a Haunted Mire, play a Carrion Feeder, pass it back. Darksteel Citadel from the opponent. It's got to be for like Koldatha Reborn, which would be great for us, to be honest. So we're not too upset about that. Okay. Let's play this Sweet Tooth Witch. That'll give us a food, which lets us Deadly Dispute. Next turn we can play the Mirkwood Bats. Impact Tremors. Okay. That's a card I would expect from this deck list, so I think we're okay there. Ooh, okay. Well, how about we play this? Wait, what? Oh, I'm dumb. That's okay. We still get one. Get a gingerbread cabin. Makes a food. Let's attack for 3. I was really hoping to see burn, because this deck feels like it's very strong against burn, but this is an interesting option. Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna dead again. We have dead and gone. End step, okay. Let's play this. Let's attack for 1. I think we're gonna hold so we can have Deadly Dispute up when we play Mirkwood Bats. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. I'm probably going to get a green source. Yep. And passes. This is a very slow start from the opponent. He's not even on double red yet, and we know he's running Wildfire Elementals, so that's very good for us. Okay, we've got all the land we need. This is an easy deadly dispute. Impact Tremor sits us for 2, that's fine. We hit a land. That is unfortunate. Let's run out this carrion feeder. Let's attack for 2. And then sack a food token. Okay, great. There's our Cauldron Familiar. That's what we want. Now we're pushing. The engine is very much online. One, two, three, four, five. Emrakul's Hatcher. 3/1/1s. Okay. This is a really weird deck from the opponent. Okay. Opponent gonna put us to 15? Is that 4 damage? It's okay. If we hit a Brandywine Farmer, we're like super in business here. Combat from the opponent. Say what? Yeah, okay. End step. Let's eat this guy. Okay, good. Sweet Tooth Witch is good. So now each of these triggers deals 3. Opponent's going to 7 here, so we have 6 damage on the board. Opponent is dead if we get a clean pass through. And we have a Sandstorm in case they try to attack. Say he plays like a Raid Bombardment attacks, he's going to lose a lot of his spawn tokens, which is good. Opponent should be dead here most of the time, but he does have a full 7 cards in hand, which is wildly concerning. Still no double red, though. Ooh, Essence Warden. Okay. That's cool. Gorilla Shaman. Okay. It's fine, too. He doesn't have any red, or he has colorless mana activated, I guess. Okay, attacking the treasure token. Let's go ahead and float a green. Treasure token really not doing much for me right now at the moment anyway. Let's hit him for 3. And we untap, and he should die. Just the 3/3. Okay. Sacrifice the dude, get a 1/1 counter. Goes to our turn. And opponent should be dead. Okay, cool. Cast the Bakery Raid. Get another food just in case opponent has combo tricks or combat tricks. And then we can just attack for 2 here in the air. Okay, cool. Go on to game 3. These sandstorms do seem good. Not sure if anything else is going to be good. I guess we know that opponent has Raid Bombardment and Impact Tremors in the deck, so maybe enchantment removal here is strong. What can we do for that? I don't particularly like these Carrion Feeders. I don't think they're doing a ton for me. And we can cut a Golden Egg and maybe a Wood Elves. Have Sandstorms and Deglammers from the sideboard for the opponent. Try to make sure they don't get a bunch of stacked enchantments on us. And this is a bad hand. This is a better hand. Keep. Let's put one of these Mirkwood Bats on the bottom. That seems ambitious. Okay, starts off with a plant. And pass. Build until end. Impact Tremors. Okay. Let's get another duel. Play a tapped land. Play a Cauldron Familiar. Pass the turn. Yield through end step. Reckless Impulse. Okay, opponent hit a mountain. His Cleansing Wildfire is gone, though. Fine, I guess opponent didn't really have anything to cast with it, or cast it on anyway. Let's go ahead and play this guy. Another duel. And we can attack for 1 here. It's going to take the 1, and let's pass. Okay, so we're in a pretty good spot. Opponent stumbling a little bit here. Doesn't really have anything clear to target with Cleansing Wildfire. We've ramped with Wood Elves, so even if he wants to target with Cleansing Wildfire, it's not setting us behind at all. Opponent Reckless Impulsing again. That's fine. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, now he can Cleansing Wildfire. Interesting. Wow. Good run out for the opponent on the second Reckless Impulse. Hit everything he needed. And he still has a land drop lined up for next turn, too. It's pretty good. Okay. Let's play this. Run out our Mirkwood Bats. And let's attack the opponent for 2. Still holding Sandstorm against the opponent. Have not seen Kuldotha Rebirth yet. Really expecting to see that from this deck. Second Impact Tremors. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. We do have a Limboss and a Sweet Tooth Witch to really start the food train, but that's going to stack up really fast. Opponent still has 6 cards in hand, which is crazy. Gone. Returns our creature you control. Just understand. Okay. Gonna boomerang my Mirkwood Bats. Interesting. Okay. Well, that does let us Mirkwood Bats again. But now I have Sandstorm up, which is a slight improvement over the last round. Can attack with both creatures again and pass the turn. Still just chipping away at the opponent. The Sweet Tooth Witch is going to put in a lot of work, I think. Radiant Fountain. Okay. An effective time lock from the opponent. 3 mana. This is a raid bombardment. No. 4 mana. Another gone. I guess this could be a wildfire elemental. This is a wildfire element. Yeah, okay. That's very good from the opponent. Fortunately, we do have the Sandstorm here. Don't know if I want to cast it immediately or not. He's not going to attack into this Markwood Bats, is he? He is. Interesting. Is it worth it to just... I feel like it's worth it to just Sandstorm this. And make the opponent play around another one. Opponent had to read that one. Bequeathal on the Wildfire Elemental? Sure. That seems like a backup plan at best. Let's play this Lembas. It's on top. An Unearth. Okay, that's pretty good. We're gonna put that on top. Ooh. Undo. We're going to play this and tap that to play the Sweet Tooth Witch. We're going to hold this single black-green open again, make opponent play around the assumed second Sandstorm. We can just pretty much sacrifice this Wood Elves, though, which is pretty good. No trample from the opponent means we can pretty freely just chump block it, which is great. Normally I would chump block with the Cauldron Familiar. I'm expecting him to play something that makes a bunch of tokens here. Yep, okay. That's going to deal 8 damage. Jeez. It's a lot. Yeah. So many triggers. Might need to hit another Sandstorm here. Didn't think I was going to be under that much pressure, but I guess I am. That is a big Wildfire Elemental, that's for sure. He's just going to dead this. Okay. I mean, we can just get that back instead with the Unearth, which is fine too. He's just going to attack. I guess we'll go ahead and block with the Cauldron Familiar, just so we have the ability to jump that back if we need it. Okay, need something good here. Okay, Brandywine Farmer is actually very good. Let's see. Brandywine Farmer here. And then we'll unearth the Sweet Tooth Witch, which comes with another food token. And we'll leave a food activation up just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures to attack with. I feel like we kind of have to leave them back. And I really want to get in there for 2. I don't feel like I can. Alright, that's fine. We'll just hold back blockers for this round. If opponent has another 4 creature Emrakul Thatcher, we might be in trouble here. But it doesn't look like he does. Okay, opponent just attacking here. Okay, well. We kill the Wildfire Elemental, he draws 2 cards, but That does feel like the best block here. All right, first things first, I guess we'll go ahead and sacrifice a food. And then we'll just block here and here. Okay, I think we should have this now. I'm only going to go to 9, and we have at least 3 activations of this. We just need to dodge another Dead Gone. Okay, GG from the opponent. And unless they have a response, we should be good. Nope, okay. As soon as we untap, he's dead. And let's go ahead and... Oop. Drain him out. That's why we let it resolve. Okay. Awesome. So we take that match down. Opponent definitely on a weird non-meta deck, though, so it's hard to chalk that one up to the deck being competitive. Really do like how the deck plays against Burn. When I was testing the list against decks off camera, I ran into a green life gain deck that was a really interesting matchup, and then I ran into another deck that went to timeout. So I've won several matches with this deck, just timing out the opponent by out life gaining their damage, which is super interesting. Not really the win style I like taking, but when other people are playing control decks against this deck, you just kind of take those when you get them. I will say I had the chance to play against a burn deck, and they scooped immediately, so I tried to get gameplay footage of that for you guys, but they just were not allowing me to get it. We're going to give one more try to another match, although you've seen how fast a few of them go when the matchup is bad. Let's see if we get another match. If not, I may just roll a replay of the mono green match, which was a pretty wild match. So let's go ahead and see what we get. Okay, on the draw against Zato Magic. With the food deck, let's give it a try, see what the opponent is on, and we'll figure out pretty quick if this is a good or a bad matchup for us. We're gonna have to mulligan this. This is a hand that I suppose we can keep. It's not a hand I'm happy about, but it is a hand. I suppose we can throw a land away, although I don't particularly like that. I think that's the play, though. Let's throw a land back. Okay, we top deck the land anyway, which is great. I suppose we could have run out the carrion or the Cauldron Familiar there. Maybe even the carrion feeder. Black-white artifacts from the opponent. Dawnbringer Cleric. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Opponent gaining some life. That's fine. Okay, we get a generous end. That's not bad. Let's Cauldron Familiar. And play a tap land. So we can Wood Elves next turn. Alright, let's yield through the opponent's turn. We have nothing we can do. Opponent on a white-black artifact deck. I'm trying to think if that's anything that I know of outside of maybe like Mardu Wildfire. I can't think of anything. Unless they're on like some weird version of Black-White Ephemerate, maybe. Deadly Disputes. Okay. Looking for a land drop, I take it. Okay, hits his land drop. Probably sacrificing the treasure token here, sure. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, so he is on a weird like Mardu Wildfire list that's running like heavy artifacts. Okay. Ooh, wait a second. No, I don't like it, but I have to run this out for a dual land, I think. I would rather have this for a gingerbread cabin, but it's not going to trigger, so we really just want to make sure we hit the Mirkwood Bats next turn. Let's attack, and then we'll pass through the turn. Wildfire again. Okay. Opponent's draw was like pretty good if they hit a red source and that treasure was kind of what they needed. So a slow start from the opponent, but picking it up now that they've been able to smooth out their draws pretty considerably here. Wellspring, okay. Well, we definitely have Deglammers coming in out of the sideboard for this matchup, which is fine. Okay, cool. So we get to go. We get to Mirkwood Bats. And then cast a Bakery Raid. And then we're going to just get in there. Okay. Opponent drawn out of this land screw very strongly. Reveals a Chainer's Edict. Okay, that doesn't actually scare me, but he's going to cast it. Oh, a Skyfisher. Sure. Getting the synthesizer back, probably. Yep, no problem. Gets a Galv Blast. That's unfortunate. Goodbye, Mirkwood Bats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Opponent can definitely almost clear my board here. Yep, gonna get rid of the Mirkwood Bats. Gonna cast the Chainer's Edict. Just to not waste it. Sack Cauldron Familiar. Let's just pass through. Alright, let's play Carrion Feeder. Let's play a Cauldron Familiar. 5. We can hold this generous end. We're not really under much pressure from the opponent, and he can't really attack, so I think we're okay. Let's just pass through. Opponent's tapped out. I don't really want to play the Hollow Scavenger yet, although maybe I should have. I wanted to keep the food token open. That might have been a mistake. We probably should have just played the Hollow Scavenger. But I can do that next turn to keep pressure on. We need like a Brandywine farmer pretty badly here. Opponent drawing out of this this initial land screw early really strongly. Fortunately, we have a reasonable sideboard for this matchup. It's not great, but this deck does run notoriously few creatures, so even the chainers are good here. Bolts the carrion feeder. We can make it a 4/4, but is it worth it? I suppose so. No. Alright, now we let the bolt resolve, and then he kills it anyway. Like a Chainer's Edict, probably. He can't flashback the Edict this turn, which is fine, because we can play the Hollow Scavenger next turn. But if he has another Edict, I mean... Yep, okay. Reason we should have played the Hollow Scavenger, immediately punished. Got it. Fortunately, this matchup should be pretty good for us. Man, if we can land this Generous Ent with a creature out to protect it from a Chainers, we're in pretty good shape. And we really don't have to kill that many of opponent's creatures either, so... Do need to hit a land drop. Play the Hollow Scavenger. Let's pass. Ichor Wellspring, sure. Great draw from the opponent. More cards. This deck really never runs out of cards, which is one of its primary strengths. But if you can kill off all their threats and just out life gain their makeshift munitions, it's really difficult for this deck to win. And they have so few creatures that, like I said, even the Chainer's Edicts out of the sideboard are going to be relevant here. So, and I like that we get to bring in the Deglammers. So we have several cards coming in. Arms of Hadar from the opponent. That's brutal. Yep. I mean, I can see the writing on the wall here, but I think I want to hold out to try to get to this Generous Ent. He can flash back the Chainers, though, which is pretty rough. We need to draw creatures and lands to protect it. All right, there's a land. Let's pass through the turn. And then let's yield through the next end step. Okay, so we have the land to cast the Generous Ent, but we can't run it into the Chainer's Edicts. So we need to get those out of the graveyard first, which means we need to draw a couple creatures to get him to flash those back. We have a lot of time. Lots of things that draw food are going to be relevant. Sacking the synth. Yep. It's a land. Okay. Angler. Okay. Now we definitely want the Chainers in. Okay, there's another land. And we're dead here. Let's go to the next game. All right, let's go to sideboarding. We're against Mardu Synthesizer. We're bringing in these Deglammers. We're bringing in these Chainer's Edicts. There's some interest in these fairy macaques because they're flyers. But ultimately, I think we just want these 7. Don't really know what to take out, though. We can't drop the Mirkwood Bats. Let's drop the Golden Egg. We don't want that. We want the Wood Elves. I don't particularly think we want these Carrion Feeders. Maybe we do. Let's drop a Carrion Feeder. Let's drop the Unearths. They're just buybacks. Let's drop a Witch and a Wood Elves. If we can catch an early Cleansing Wildfire with our Deglammer, we're in so good. I don't particularly like this hand, but it is a reasonable hand. I think we can do better, though. I'm tempted to mulligan this. This might be a mistake, but I think we mulligan this. If opponent has a fast start, we're dead in the water with this hand. So I think we got to try for a better one. That is a better hand. We're going to keep this. We'll get rid of one of these Generous Scents. Put a little bit of time pressure on the opponent. Not that I think that's going to matter. And let's pass it up. Yield through the turn. Okay, what do we want here? Let's play another Haunted Mire. Let's play a Cauldron Familiar. Setting up for a Brandywine Farmer next turn, which is pretty strong. And let's pass. Opponent plays a Blood Fountain. That's fine. Draw another Deadly Dispute. That's pretty good. Let's just attack. Brandywine Farmer. Make some food. Or start the food train. Opponent has to read that one. And let's pass. Unfortunately, we don't have the Deglammer to break this this Cleansing Wildfire line again, which is really unfortunate because opponent's about to Cleansing Wildfire again off of a treasure token, which is super, super greedy. But unfortunately, we don't have the Deglammer to stop it, which would be backbreaking. Yep. Such a shame. Really wish we would have hit a little bit better. One of these. Let's get in there. Let's pass. Okay, in response, let's try to see if we can hit the Deglammer. I would really like to hit the Deglammer. That would be very good. We do not hit the Deglammer. Okay. Man, that's so upsetting. We can definitely run out this Generous Scent, though, which is pretty huge. Opponent will never be able to Chainers it with 3 food tokens out. Skyfisher's the Blood Fountain. Okay. Yep. Replays the blood fountain, gets a new blood. Sure. Want to hit a land here. That's not a land. I think we play another Brandywine Farmer. Let's deadly it again. Need to hit a land drop here. Wow, don't hit a land drop again. That's so brutal. I guess we just pass. So now we're at a really awkward position where we can't treasure to fetch a land. We just need to rip a land. But all of our lands, apart from the 4th Haunted Mire exactly, interplay untapped, and we can slam this Generous Ent, which is kind of the game plan. It's just to go Ent into Ent and beat the opponent down. We're going to take 2 here, that's fine. Not worried about taking 2. Just want Chainer's Protection for these Ents. Not under a ton of pressure from the opponent, so that's good. Cast into Fire. Just exiling a food token, okay? Sure. You got it, buddy. If that's the best his Cast into Fires do, we are okay with that. Bouncing the Blood Fountain again? Yep. Replaying the Blood Fountain. Sure. We expect this. We need to hit an untapped land here. Literally all but one. We have a lot of land in the deck that let us play this Generous Ent. Oh boy, that's not it. I guess we run out the Slem Boss. Okay, put it on top. Let's play it. And we can run out this Sweet Tooth Witch. Or we can run out this Murktide Bats. I think I'd rather keep the Deglamor up. Just in case we can catch another Cleansing Wildfire, I guess. Let's run it like this. Synthesizer, sure. Deadly Dispute. Oh, okay. Yep. Sure. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. I suppose we go for the Deglamor here. Just whiff the Cleansing Wildfire and deny the card draw. Cutting him on white mana is actually very powerful here. See the last Cleansing Wildfire? No, of course Skyfisher. Okay. Bouncing the Blood Fountain again. Sure. Gonna attack for 4 here. Yep. We're going to be able to slam this Ent into basically no Chainers ever, which is great. Need a land. That's not a land, but it is good. Okay. This Generant's definitely going to hold down this board quite a bit because he's got to over Galv Blast it, which is pretty ridiculous. He's got a Gal Blast plus make me block plus deal an extra damage to it, which is huge. And if he only has Cast into Fires, we're like way ahead. Makeshift munitions. Okay. We knew that was coming. He's going to have to sacrifice a lot here, though. If he wants to Chainers. We're still going to be okay. Galv Blast. Okay. Is he really going to sacrifice 3 artifacts to ping off my Generosent? I'm okay with that. That's a lot of damage eaten by this Generosent. Okay, he's just attacking for 6 here. I think if we take 8, go to 7, we're not dead, right? No way we're dead. If we block and make him ping it and we can recast another one, we're in such a good place. I feel like we block. And then I suppose let's hit another one. We need to hit another lane, though. That's, like, the most important thing. He still has to ping it. So we're eating a blood token here. Don't know why he Gal Blasted it first. Maybe he didn't want me to block. But it still feels correct. Okay. Well, that's a Chainers. That's good. He's gonna just sack the Skyfisher ashore. Let's play a Sweet Tooth Witch. Get another treasure. Or get another food token. And attack. Haven't seen any Chainers from the opponent. The opponent didn't see any Cauldron Familiars in game 1, I don't think, either. No, he did. He did. So maybe he took them out, just assuming they would be bad against Cauldron Familiar. Oh, okay. Sure. It's just flashing a 3-1 in. Sure. Another Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. Man, all 4 wildfires. Wild. Sure. I am anticipating him just pinging off the Sweet Tooth Witch. Yep. And hitting for 3. Sure. Really need to hit a land here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The opponent doesn't have that many more creatures. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked for 1. Brutal. I'm gonna get punished. Hit me for 3, put me to 6. I'm dead if he has Galv Blast. Does not have Galv Blast. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we just don't attack. If we don't attack, he can't attack us. And he's forced to do some pinging. And if he does some pinging, we can rebuy and do some stuff. So, Lightning Bolt. I mean, I guess we kind of have to. Opponent only has 3 damage. We're going to stay at 6. 1 card in hand. If we untap, we're in a really good spot. but I don't know if we'll untap. He only has 3 damage. And he can't get rid of the Cauldron Familiar, so there's no lethal there. It has to be through burn. And it has to be, like, exactly bolt. Sure. You can kill one of my food tokens. Navigator's Compass, that's fine. We don't care at all about that. We have successfully run the opponent out of steam, which is great. We definitely need another land so we can Mirkwood Bats with food open. And then I think we're doing okay. Land. That's not a land, but that's good. Oh, I should have attacked first. Oh, well. Wow, didn't hit a land. Need land here. That's another generous end. Okay, I guess we'll put that on top. And we'll pass the turn. Opponent's still only on 3 artifacts, which is good for us. One, two, three, 4. Oh, he's going to pop the Blood Fountain to get the Skyfishers back. Okay, that's fine. We don't like that, but it's fine. He's going to bounce the Navigator's Compass and gain a bunch of life. That's okay. It's not like my favorite thing that could be happening, but if we get to slam these generous ends, we're in a pretty good place, so I'm not that worried about it. Yep. Opponent does not have very many artifacts out right now, which is great. Target player sacrifices a creature. Okay, let's just go ahead and shuffle that back into our deck. Get the Cauldron Familiar, sack the Cauldron Familiar. Thanks for the free gain of life. Yep, play the Compass. That's fine. Okay. Tense board state, but I think we're okay. If we go to a game 3, opponent is very low on time. Okay. Opponent just bounces and replays a land. Okay, end turn. Oh, we can't. Okay. We have to cycle this for a gingerbread cabin. Then we have to untap, play this. Let's cast. Okay, we have a lot of food tokens. If we can get this Mirkwood Bat out and start chaining through stuff, we're in a pretty good spot. Makeshift munitions targeting me. Okay. This is okay with me. Should still be okay. Opponent can put me at 4, put me at 2. I go to 3. I'm dead to a lightning bolt, which is very unfortunate, but I don't think I could wait any longer. I could have chainersed one, I guess. Destroy target creature. Oh, boy. Fierce Retribution. What in the hell is that? Okay, I guess. All right, we have to get this back now so that he can't kill us with makeshift. We're going to go to 1 and untap with a bunch of mana to sacrifice a bunch of food. Yep, you have 3. Skyfisher. Okay. I need a carrion feeder. Another Limboss. Okay. Ooh, wait, hold up. Undo. If I do that, I'm dead, right? He can deal 6 next turn. Ooh, I think I'm just dead. Ooh, that is unfortunate. I think I'm just dead. He can deal 4 to me, 5, 6. I'm exactly at 6. What can I do here? I needed a carrion feeder. I needed a sack outlet. Let's put that on bottom. See what I get. Deglamor. All right. Unless he blocks this Cauldron Familiar, I'm lost. Just doesn't block. Yep, that's correct. That's the game. Huh. Just attacks. Yep. GG's to the opponent. Definitely feel like I had the tools to win that game, but man, my land just let me down. I did not hit the land drops I needed in that last game. Definitely needed a sack outlet. Didn't have enough reach. Yeah. Him having to sacrifice an Ent to get the land to play another Ent instead of just going Ent into Ent was brutal. The first Ent bought us a lot of time, and it just did not matter. We did not hit a 6th land, and that was unfortunate. Overall, guys, let me know what you thought of the deck. That is going to round out our spotlight today. A little bit of a weird one. Definitely a strange deck when you look at it on paper, but it all just kind of works. Cauldron Familiar and Sweet Tooth Witch do a lot of work together. When you add in the Murktide Bats, it just kind of does enough damage. It doesn't feel overly broken. It's definitely one of the more fair decks. Great question would be like, can this deck win against like mono black gardens or black green gardens? Can this deck win against something like Coggates? Super interesting list. Not sure It's 100% tuned. If you guys have suggestions for cards that I should be playing or trying out in this deck, go ahead and list them in the comments below, guys. But thank you so much for making it through this far into the video. As usual, guys, goodbye forever, unless I see you next time. Peace out, and stay salty.